Coming up tonight on Delmarva Sports Insider, James M. Bennett football with a chance to clinch their third playoff appearance in 4 years, taking on city rival Y-High.
And still to come, Lake Forest battling Laurel, looking to move above 500 with a win on the road. High-scoring affair in this one. Highlights are coming up.
That's right, G. And dare I say, Delmar pushed to the brink.
Say it.
A Division II championship rematch with the undefeated Wildcats traveling to Milford.
Well, the studio is full, the lights are on, and it's time for Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Ryan Eldridge, along with Sports Director Trayvon Miles,
yes,
and the timeless, ever-talented Jeff Harris, not too far away. Jonah Restuccio, the young gun. Yeah, hello, Jonah. Guys, busy night here on the peninsula, and we've got to talk football.
That's exactly right. Welcome to your new favorite show, the only show giving you in-depth analysis to all sports here on the Eastern Shore. Of course, we got Friday Night Football right here.
Should be your only favorite show here on the shore, aside from the 47 ABC News at 11 with Ryan Eldridge and Julian Sador. But thought we may get rained out again, but instead some of the games getting pushed to earlier in the week, while others getting pushed up earlier tonight to avoid some of the rain.
Yeah.
Just seems like we can't stay dry on a Friday night, but here we are, and we begin with the game of the night in Maryland. A city rivalry you know a lot about.
Oh, of course. That's right. The reigning city champions, James M. Bennett, looking to finish the year off 8-2 and capture another outright city title, taking on Y-High. And check this out. The Tribe would already be trailing 7-0. Play action fake. Pressure applied by Evan Smith. Khalil Evans picked off by Braden Glushakow. Glush taking it 28 yards to the end zone. Clippers up 14-0. He is. Few possessions later, Brandon Scholl hitting Michael Reddish in the seam. The big tight end, watch him turn on the burners. Running away from DBs, he goes 60 yards, puts him up 21-0. But Scholl was not done in this one. Next possession, he hits his number one guy, Jyron Long, 45 yards via the fly route. Bennett up 35-0.
Hey, point at the camera, kid. Now, second half, maybe Y-High has some hope, you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this play kind of simplifies how their night went for the Indians.
Yeah, Evans eluding away from this.
Look at this, eluding all the traffic, weaving in and out, and he finds Jameer Taylor, who plays for the Clippers.
Wow.
Rough night for the Tribe. They are shut out by James M. Bennett. And the Tribe, they win 35-0 to clinch their second straight city championship and another playoff appearance.
We've had all kinds of wins this season. We've had comebacks, we've had close games, we've had blowouts. So to end the season on the way we did, it means the world. 3 out of the 4 years, Bennett has been city champs. It's just we're always not the ones to be talked about at the beginning of the season, but it just feels good at the end of the season to get 2 wins on our 2 local clubs with teams that we know the guys, and I'm just so happy.
Face says it all, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he's happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bennett's football team's happy, but Y-High on the other side, got to be pretty upset.
Yeah, kind of came into this game knowing that they weren't going to make the playoffs, but still, I can't give them them. They had a great year, by far. They had a really great year. They had a better year than expected, finished 6-4. But we got to give the credit to Bennett. Coach Hoot Gibson had his players ready. A rivalry game is always tricky. You don't know how it's going to go. They came out from the gate and shut the door, 14-0, a couple minutes into the game, and that was the formula tonight.
And that's exactly what you need to do. This is a team that expected to be in the playoffs this year. Now they see that coming to fruition, so they're not going to go into the last game of the season, even though it's a rivalry game and playing down to that competition. They're going to make sure that they're, fine-tuning some of those things that they need to, because come next week, they're going to be stepping up with the big boys, and then they're going to go into the playoff race. So they needed this game tonight. Big win for them. They take home the city championship, while also beating a rival in the process.
Third playoff appearance in 4 years.
Man, how do you feel about that? Why?
This is a changing of the guard. I would say it's a change of the guard. Parkside also went to the playoffs. But for more on those other games, Jonah Restuccio is standing by at the wall.
Thanks, guys. We'll start with the Caroline County rivalry between Colonel and North Carolina. Senior night for the Colonels, a win and they're into the 1A playoffs. But the Dogs, they want that second straight undefeated season, 10-0 on the line. Passes deflected by Kendron Wayman and picked off by Will Manship. And then it would set up this. Joey Bildstein from 50 yards out. Look at the stiff arm that he lays on him right there. One of his 3 scores on the night. Caroline would miss the extra point, so they're up 6-0. And then in the second quarter, Will Manship, he gets in for another score. North Carolina headed into half, up 33-0. Backups in the second half. Wyatt LeClaire in at QB. Target practice with Montrese DeShields. What a passing catch for the 50-yard score. 48-7 the final in this one. Bulldogs kept their second straight undefeated season. They're 38-2 in the regular season over the last 4 years. They get Parkside in round 1 of the 2A playoffs next week.
I think we definitely learned last year regular season doesn't really mean anything. Once you get to the playoffs, it's a different monster. We know Parkside's good. They're physical. You know, they're going to come out and test us.
This go around, we're going to work, make sure we're sharp. You know, we talk to guys about being sharp going into the playoffs. 10-0 is a great season. The only thing it does is get us home field as long as we're in the playoffs.
Over in Berlin, Stephen Decatur taking on Snow Hill in another county rivalry. Opening series for the Seahawks, and in the red zone, handoff goes to Devin Waters. Score and a shrug. Why not? 7-0 Decatur. Seahawks up by 14 at this point, and they just keep piling it on the 1-yard line. Tyquan Burdell mows his way in for the score, and the foot never coming off the pedal on the ensuing kickoff. Seahawks striking while the iron is hot. Onside kick, and they recover it. And remember, guys, we're still in the first quarter here. So shortly after that, Ashton Snelsier on the bootleg. He's going to find nobody else other than Burdell, who's going to bulldoze his way past the defender and into the end zone. Big night for Decatur as they go on to win this one 61-0. Take it back to last night, Parkside and Washington. Rams already clinched their berth into the postseason. Opening drives for the Rams, Dante Hall with the touchdown. So 7-0 Rams in the first. And then later in the corner, Parkside's middle linebacker, Brady Smith, getting some carries on offense. Adding another layer to that earthquake backfield that they have. He gets in for the score. And then once more, Tyke Whitfield. He's going to bounce to the outside, and he's going to cruise into the end zone. So many different running backs for this Parkside team. The Rams go up 21-0. Second half and more scoring for the home team. Too many running backs, like I said. This time, it's a different name, Jamal Matthews. Rams end their season 8-2 with the 66-6 win. I don't like saying that number. Take us through the rest of the Bayside scores, desk crew.
All right, well, in Cambridge, the Vikings finished the regular season 7-3 and clinched a home playoff game in the 1A East. And Kent County finished in their season off with a road win over Patterson Mill. We got to give it up for the Trojans. They end a 5-game losing streak, and they end the year with a W. That's always pleasant.
Now, both these teams, you see them at the bottom there, out of the playoffs, but Kent Island able to top Queen Anne's earlier tonight, 28-23. Now, Trey, Queen Anne's the pick to win the Bayside in the preseason poll, right?
Clearly,
Now, both KI and Queen Anne's, they finished the regular season below 500, both 4-6.
Yeah, it's been a long time since that's happened.
I was going to say that's it's got to be tough, but you know, the beat goes on. Just another great week in Maryland, and I mean, overall, what's the big takeaway for both you guys?
We got to start out with North Carolina. I would undefeated, unbeaten in the regular season once again. But we know how last year went, and Joey Bildstein, he talked about it a little bit, and I'm sure Coach McCormick learned a lot from last season. They will have another Bayside team like Kent Island last year coming into Ridgely to try to knock them off. Will Parkside be up to the challenge?
Exactly. Then that's the question. So where everything's coming full circle. Kent Island has been in the playoffs for almost 10 straight years now. Now, Parkside hasn't been in the playoffs for almost 10 years in the first year under Coach Brendan Riley, so we're going to see how he can respond. And we also, the game earlier this year between Parkside and North Carolina. So you watch some film, and now you go on the road. So, yeah, for me, Parkside getting into the playoffs 8-2 for the first time in 10 years.
That'd be awesome.
Stands out.
Also want to say there is a chance that Colonel Richardson gets into the playoffs as well. We also have to mention them.
Okay.
So we'll
all
see.
right, fellas, thank you very much. We could talk about Maryland all night, especially if we got Jonah up here on the desk, but we got to take a break because when we come back, we've got to talk about the state that's just a little bit north. You know, the first state, some incredible highlights out of Delaware.
That's exactly right. Woodbridge looking to win their 6th straight with Indian River on the train tracks. Those highlights when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
I'm Tyquan Burdell, news guard for Stephen Decatur Seahawks, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.